We've got a really cool project to tackle here today in the workshop. Over here on the bench is a new Tamiya CC02 kit. I know you're probably thinking, Greg, you're losing your mind. You already reviewed that. You're right. It's over here on the wall, but this is a different kit. This comes with a pre-painted body from the factory in the blue-gray color with a black roof and black bumpers, pre-cut, and I think it's only like $10 more than the regular kit. Still has the speed controller and LED lights as well. Pretty neat kit if you're looking for a Tamiya CC02. But to change things up for this build, what I did is I ordered all of the option parts that they have available for it, including the tracks. This thing is gonna be absolutely awesome when we're done. I'm gonna head over to the workbench, build it up, and show you what it looks like. After 2 days of building, the Project Bronco is complete. Tamiya's two-door body looks absolutely awesome, and the fact that it comes pre-painted from the factory just really helps out with the excitement of the build. You know, you build up a Tamiya chassis kit, and then you're like, oh yeah, I still have another 4 hours of work to do on the body, but not so with this one. You do have to cut out the decals, apply them, and apply all the accessories on here, such as the roof rack, which I love. Love the bull bar up front, the molded grille, the lights. This looks awesome. Love the look of it with the tracks on it. It's almost too good to drive, but of course we're gonna take it out. But let me just go over a couple things that I noticed during the build here. With the servo mount I installed, I like the servo mount, and they actually have a rear bracket that's similar to it, but with the Spektrum servo, I had to stand it up, basically so the wire didn't get pinched in the chassis here. Not a huge deal, just if you're gonna use a similar servo, heads up on that. And it's really cool that you can put it in 2 different positions. I did use the Tamiya Servo Saver on there with this massive torque servo that really doesn't need it, but it was a cool accessory that I had and I threw it on. The shocks on this, I really like these aluminum shocks. They look very cool. I put the firm springs in the rear, the medium in the front, because that was in the one package that I had. And I used the little clips to help space down the collars. Yeah, it's got these old school collars on it. I wish they were a threaded shock, but that's a little tip to use the plastic clip collars to get your setting and then just lock them down. They seem to be holding oil just fine. And there's some V2 parts in here. I like the larger V2 rod ends on it. So they're a worthy option to get in my opinion. Another worthy option to get is the motor bridge, and that is just to help secure the motor down. It's a little U-shaped piece that I put in, and what I like about it is you're not crushing screws down through the plastic to pinch down the motor in place. The spur gear adapter, a nice little option to have if you want to throw it in there. Not a major deal, but I like these center drive shafts. The carbon steel, just easy to put together. Only wish that they had flat spotted the center pin where the set screw attaches, but other than that, these are a really nice drive shaft option. The suspension link mounts, wish they had it for the axles, but I think they're a worthy option to have here attached to the chassis. And then the pivot balls are always nice to have as well. They're the aluminum ones, hard anodized. They're gonna last a lot longer than the plastic. I did throw the Fast Eddy bearing kit in the drivetrain. Didn't use them in the tracks, but they're in throughout the drivetrain. Really freed everything up. And let me just run through the electronics quick. I've got a Spektrum 6285 high torque servo in there. Tons of torque, probably way more than this thing is ever gonna need. Then I threw the Spektrum Firma brushed motor system in here. It comes with a motor and speed controller all in one box. It's a 70 amp speed controller. I actually threw the 15 turn in because that's what I had. So we're gonna have a lot of track speed. Actually wanted to throw the 35 in, but this is what I had in the drawer behind the counter here, and that's what went in it. It's gotta have plenty of power, I think. I'm gonna just run it on a 2S battery pack. I'll use my Spektrum rugged radio system with it. And finally, these tracks. Absolutely love these. I've talked about these before on the channel. They give you the Gausser tread and then the standard tread, and you could build it either way. You could have just flat treads, or you could have the every other like this. And since I'm probably gonna go in snow, that's why I built it with the Gausser track on here. But they look really good. They take some time to build because you have to put each and every pin into the tracks and then assemble the track units themselves. They fit a number of different Tamiya kits. And they look awesome on the CC-02 too. Let's head outside now and tear up some terrain. Well guys, it kind of pains me, but we're getting it dirty. I am not holding back on this thing. Mud puddles. Of course you gotta blast through the mud puddles. Look at the spray coming off that thing. Really happy I went with the bigger power system because I could climb this dirt mountain with it. Yeah, and get some air. The only thing I noticed that I don't like is that servo saver. It's kind of sticking on me. It's not holding center. So that's one part I'd pass on. It's pretty crazy when you think about it, taking a truck you just spent days building it and instantly sending it through the mud. It looked absolutely awesome though. I had such a good time driving it through the snow, through the mud, over the rocks, in the puddles. This thing was incredible. I was truly excited about the performance of it. I was uncertain how that motor was going to be in here, if it was going to overheat. I didn't re-gear it. Everything seemed to be fine. It was getting water cooled, so I would watch temperatures if you go with a similar motor, but the speed was there to have tons of fun with it. Plenty of steering, however, that servo saver was kind of giving way and sticking, so I would definitely not suggest that. It's a very cool looking servo saver though. I bought it, I had to use it. I'm done with it. I'm gonna go throw a solid horn on there. The tracks, Tamiya tracks are absolutely awesome. No problems with them whatsoever. They perform really well. Just left the stock bronze and nylon bushings in there because I knew it was going to run it through water. Didn't want to wreck any bearings. However, you know, I've got bearings throughout the transmission in this. I'll probably go pull it apart really quick just to blow everything out with air because it was getting waterlogged. But this was a really cool project. I really like the parts I put on it. The shocks worked pretty good. There was a little bit of a lean from the torque twist, but overall, a really cool truck. And again, this, I believe, is a limited edition body set on here, so you might want to act quick. It really made the building process easy, and they did a really fantastic job on it. I'll have links to Tower Hobbies for all of the stuff that I showed you guys today, or you could hit up your local hobby shop, grab the stuff from them as well. Should I revisit this rig as a rubber tire truck and show you it perform? Let me know in the comment section below.